Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the U.S. Supreme Court allows class action lawsuit against debt collector to go forward because they were used unethical and abusive language when trying to collect the debt, but something that was that really got them in trouble, which is not in a gray area, was that they were overcharging on the interest rates after they purchased the debt. Now, uh, just in case you didn't know this, I'm going to let you know that when a debt collector buys a debt, they can, but a lot of them don't do it. But there are some that do it, and I have my suspicions why they do it. Um, what they'll do is they will start tacking on interest rates on there, and uh, tacking on interest on the amount that's owed. And what we have here was an individual that sued Encore Capital Group. And what they did is they charged 27% interest on a debt. So it says here that Madden, which was the individual that sued, owed approximately $5,000 in credit card debt she had accumulated with Bank of America several years earlier. After Encore Capital Group purchased the debt from Bank of America, the debt collection company sought to impose an exorbitant interest rate on Madden. Madden and other debtors in the class action lawsuit claimed that Encore Capital violated the Federal Fair Debt Collection Practices Act by charging the excessive interest rate on the debt. And in May 2015, the U.S. second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in New York ruled that Encore Capital Group had gouged debtors in violation of state usury laws by allowing its subsidiaries to lend money at unreasonable high interest rates. The the Federal Circuit Appellate Court specifically declared that Midland Funding and Midland Credit Management, two subunits of Encore Capital, so we're seeing all of these connections, were not considered national banks and therefore should not be immune to usury laws that govern the total amount of interest that can be charged on a loan. So this was something that was going on for some years, and then the U.S. Supreme Court allowed the class action to continue. And what has actually came down from this is that they were not able to continue charging that interest rate. Now, what you need to do, there's an interest rate that's in the statute for the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, but each state also has its own usury law on what they can charge. But also, uh, the thing that is tricky, and we have something like this in the state of Wisconsin, a debt collector cannot charge the interest rate in our state that they're for their debt. They just have to have the amount and then they have to charge. And I believe that now, to bring this full circle, the reason why I believe that they were doing this is so if they end up doing a 1099-C cancellation of debt, they would be able to write off a larger amount and they would get bigger deductions against the money that they did collect. And then I believe from this uh, lawsuit, class action lawsuit that went down, was the reason why the creditors have held on the debts and they continue to charge interest on those debts. If you notice, uh, and I've had this with clients that some of them said, hey, that was charged off, a year ago, but they keep adding on to the balance. And they hadn't sold it yet, but the balance keeps going up and they don't remember having that balance. And at the time when I was seeing that, I was saying that, this is so they can get more money when they sell it to debt collectors. This is so they can balloon it up and it just allows them to get more money, even though it's pennies on the dollar. Or if they try to do settlements, they're ballooning it up, and then say you owed 5,000, but they have 27% interest, they blow that up for a couple of years. You can end up owing double the amount of money that you owed from before, especially when you're not paying down anything. And so they use this to just balloon it up. And so if they do a settlement, some of the times it'll end up being what you had actually owed. And so we ran into this with a recent client that we did settlements for. He was like, Steve, this amount that they have, that's not the amount that I charge. And I said, well, what is the amount that you really charge? He said, I charge like $8,000, but they have it for $14,000. And then they said that they would settle for like a little bit under 8,000. He was like, they're really not, going down that much. And I got back and we submitted another proposal and said that we wanted to start where the original amount was, not where you're tacking on, this interest, because the account was closed out, it was charged off. So let's start from there. So you have to be very careful. So you have where they were ballooning up the debts, and then some debt collectors were actually blowing up uh, with the interest rate, and then they'll go into court and they'll get a default judgment. Also, if you don't know your rights, and they were getting ballooned up amounts of interest on those debts and getting garnishments from people, so they might have owed 5,000, like this lady had, and end up going to court and they're suing her for 7,000 or $8,000. So you have to be very careful. So we can see the connection here with Encore Capital Group, where they were actually subbing out uh, to Midland Funding and Midland Credit Management. So you have to be very careful um, with these companies, because actually one of the things that I keep seeing happening is where, like, they're using one company to do all the dirty work, and then they're protecting the major company. I remember hearing from Encore Capital Group, but even me, I did not know that they were connected with Midland. And so what they're probably doing is they're not actually connected. They're probably selling the debt to these other companies, or maybe they are connected. They're selling them to them, and they try to hold Encore, where Encore wouldn't get into any trouble. They're saying that Midland was the one that was doing that, which you can see here with the class action lawsuit. The U.S. Supreme Court said that they cannot, even though they gave it down to Midland and Midland Funding and Midland Credit Management, that they cannot get away with doing what they were doing. So this is a excellent story. Even though this is past, it's good information, because you can use this type of stuff to fight your current debt collections that you have. If they're taking you to court, you can use information like this to say you want the court to be aware that these types of things had happened, and you had to do some homework on your own, and you check and see if there's any problems or any issues with the debt that you have that they're trying to sue you for. I mean, statute of limitations, or time bar, uh, exorbitant interest rates, even according to your state and federal. Don't just look at federal, look at state. See if the debt collector is licensed for your state. I just saw that California is now making debt collectors be licensed. I didn't know that they didn't have to be licensed there, but now they have to be licensed there. In our state, you do have to be licensed to do debt collection. There's a whole bunch of things that can be technicalities that can stop a debt collector from being able to come after you for the debt. So I'm gonna finish the video here. If you please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to it. Please like this video. Please share it. Ask your questions, comments. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different. That's the way that we repair credit. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com. Go there. We'll do a free review from those reports also, and to just tell you what would need to be done to get you where you want to be. If you have debt collectors coming after you, you can get my 3 pack of letters for free: statute of limitations letter, debt validation letter, and a cease and desist collection activities letter. Those letters are very valuable. They can help you if you have debt collection letters coming at you. They don't expect you to have the information that I'm going to give you to help you stop debt collectors. All right. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of the CreditRepairShop.com.